What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to episode, 13 now? The BLFE podcast. Wow, has it been a minute? And if you're wondering why it's been a minute, it's because welcome to the new BLFE filming area. It's literally just a wall that you can see. But we got a brand new house. Maybe we'll do a house tour for like a little short video. Or you know what, I'll do it on my TikTok. So if you're not following that, go follow that. Link will be in the description. While you're at it, you might as well go follow my Instagram. Link is also in the description. And, you know, while you're at it, you might as well subscribe to this YouTube channel because, well, you're here anyways. Don't forget to like the video. But anyways, here we are in our new house. And the first video that we're doing in our new house is going to be similar to our last video where we rated every Pixar movie. If you didn't watch it, well, you should go down and watch it right after this one. In today's video, we will be rating every single Spider-Man movie. Now, what does that entail? What are the Spider-Man movies? Well, obviously you have the Tom Holland Spider-Mans, Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. But we're also including the Venoms, Morbius, Madam Web, and then the animated Spider-Mans. So, the ones with Miles Morales. So, yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. And by we, I mean me. And of course, my co-host, Luke. Let's give him a warm welcome back.
Woo!
Just like me.
I'm back. We're back.
We're back. It's a we thing.
Yeah. We're back.
I hate this guy.
Okay.
Anyways, here we are. We're back. And I know what you're thinking. Where have you guys been? Like I said, we've been moving into this house.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. And we just we've had to settle into this place.
And we've been coming up with ideas for you guys.
For you guys. Yes, you. We've been in our brain, been thinking of ideas that we can do, especially for the finale episode, because this is the last episode before the finale episode, because the finale is going to be split into two parts. You're probably wondering, what's the finale? Well, you'll find out when it's posted on, I'm not giving a date.
Yeah. It's unofficial.
It's unofficial.
But we're not going to drop another 1 hour video on you guys. We're going to split it up.
Yeah. We just don't want to do that. This video should only be about 30 minutes. There's way less movies to talk about. And I feel like we're not as opinionated on these movies until we get to maybe the top 5.
Yeah. Top 5, most likely, we might argue.
Yeah. We have a very different set of opinions when it comes to superhero movies. I know Pixar movies we're kind of head and head. But here, this is where things get heated. So let's get straight into it. Intro! And welcome back. Yeah, I know you missed me with that long intro. I bet you guys are excited for a new intro. We're getting one really soon in 3 episodes,
three more
probably
episodes.
means 3 months. But
No.
here's what we'll promise you guys. We will record the finale with sometime within the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So after this video is published, the finale part 1 will come out sometime 3 weeks after that. And then the part 2 will only be a few days after that because they go.
They'll be recorded at the same time, just editing will be a bit different.
Exactly. So, let's jump straight into it with our movies. He has his on his watch. I have mine on my phone. So there are 14 movies that we are rating.
14. So starting off at number 14.
I have Madam Web. I feel like it was pretty obvious that we were going to jump straight into the worst 2. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess which one's next.
My number 14 is Morbius.
Okay, so we swapped them, which I mean, is fair. Me personally, I've never actually seen Madam Web.
Yeah, and me personally, I've never seen Morbius.
That's why I put him last. I've seen Morbius and it was, well, we'll get into that, but I've never seen Madam Web, so I'll let him explain his opinion on his number 13, because it's Madam Web, and then I'll explain 13, which is Morbius. So go ahead.
Number 13, I put Madam Web. That movie was laughable. Literally, the actresses who played all the different Spider-Women, they were hyping up themselves so much. They're like, oh yeah, you'll get to see powers and all that. We saw their powers once in a flashback, literally nothing else. The villain was crappy, did a really bad job, and fun fact, a lot of his lines were just him voicing over himself. because of how many times they had to go back and edit the movie. So that's how bad it was. And that was the final product. So.
Alright, well, my number 14 is Madam Web. I've never seen it, and I don't want to. My number 13 is Morbius, and I only watched this movie once, and I fell asleep about 3/4 of the way in. This movie was just boring. I mean, and the actor himself, I don't remember his name. I don't like him. I've never really been a big fan of, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but you know what I'm talking about.
I heard he's like actually a pretty crappy person.
Yeah, I have too. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but you guys know who we're talking about, the main character.
Picture right here.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
that's too much work. But no, it just wasn't a good movie at all. Like, I fell asleep halfway through. The plot was terrible. The acting was terrible, and it just wasn't a good story, like, at all. Like, I don't know who decided to let that run through the theaters, because it was pretty bad. But moving on to number 12. Let's see. I'll go first. I have Venom 2. Honestly, like, this movie wasn't terrible. Like, I didn't like.
But it's
like,
a step up from the other ones. This is also my number.
12.
I got confused because I put it as Let There Be Carnage. I was like, Venom 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Let There Be Carnage. But I mean, I really like Tom.
I thought his name was Tim.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
I like him as Venom, and I'll explain more when we get to like the first one. And I also love the bad guy, who once again his name is slipping my mind, but
Carnage.
Well, Carnage I know, but the actor,
Yeah.
I really like the actor, and I just really like the story. Like, I like Carnage's backstory, and like, but there's just so many better movies on this list that it had to be like.
Yeah, like I feel like watching it in theaters, I wasn't like I was kind of disappointed. There's some things where I was like, okay, I feel like they could have done that better. Like, I feel like they really focused more on like the funny side this time, which I like. In Venom, like the first one, there was funny moments, but in like Let There Be Carnage, I wish there was more of like that, you know, like that serious like villain moment, because like Venom is supposed to be like a villain.
Yeah. Anti-hero. But
anti-hero. But like, you know, he's supposed to be more like dark.
Yeah.
But they made him kind of like a
silly.
Yeah, funny,
silly
guy. But I don't know. I feel like it was still really good compared to the other two.
Yeah, I think that Venom, the second one, had a better antagonist than the first one did.
Oh, definitely.
The first one was forgettable. Carnage is just a very he's easy to remember. Like, the first one, I can't even remember the guy's name.
Yeah.
I just remember liking the plot better. But
yeah.
Which doesn't kind of lead, but number 11, I put The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That movie just didn't stick out to me. I'm kind of an Andrew Garfield hater when it comes to Spider-Man. I love him as an actor. I love him in Tick, Tick, Boom. I love him in The Social Network. And I love him in the first Amazing Spider-Man. But the second Amazing Spider-Man and him in No Way Home, I just wasn't a big fan of. Like, I grew up with, like, watching the older ones. And then once I got into my teenage years where I started to like Spider-Man, I had Tom Holland. And Andrew Garfield was just in that awkward phase where I didn't watch him as much, and so he doesn't really stick out to me. I also don't like that they smushed 3 villains into one movie. Even Rhino was in it, but
the last like minute maybe.
Still, I don't like them. It's just I don't
Rhino.
like that movie.
Rhino in that movie is like the villain at the very end of Incredibles 1.
The Underminer.
Yeah, he's like the Underminer. You don't really see the fight ever, and saying how they're most likely never going to make a sequel, we're probably never going to see that fight.
Well, with No Way Home, it's rumored that we might get a third one, which I'm hoping not, because it's probably going to suck.
So my number 11 is the original Spider-Man 1. Not because it's bad, just because it is the very first original, you know, Spider-Man movie. Of course, like, watching it, you get that like feeling of like, wow, like this is nice. This is the OG.
Nostalgic.
But, yeah, nostalgia. But just like compared to the other ones, it's okay. It has like a couple memorable things, but it's just Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. It was okay, and that's one of the movies I've actually, because I wanted to rewatch all of them before I did this. But I watched Spider-Man 1 and 2, and I liked the second one more than I liked the first one.
Well, the second one's definitely better, but
yeah.
I don't know. The first one, I don't know. It's kind of low, personally. But moving on to So number 10, I had the first Venom. The antagonist is very forgettable, but like I said, I love the relationship that Eddie Brock grows with Venom. And I love Tom Hardy as Venom just because I feel like he fits the character very well. Like if you've ever read the Eddie Brock comics, like fits him so well. Like I always hated the third Spider. Like okay, I didn't hate, but I hated who played Eddie Brock.
That's fair.
In the third Spider-Man because I was like, bro, this is not Eddie Brock. Like he does not fit him at all. But Tom Hardy does. He does a very good job. And then I love the love interest and all that. Like it's just, it's good.
It's a good movie.
It was a good movie, but it had to be lower on the list just because of all the other amazing movies on this.
Speaking of amazing, my number 10 is The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Me personally, it was pretty good. It just doesn't really compare to much other movies on this list. I mean, Andrew Garfield, amazing actor. It's just, there's some times where I just couldn't really watch him be Spider-Man, because I feel like his Peter Parker was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was just him being Spider-Man where I was like, Like, it was okay. In the second movie though, I thought it was a lot better. Me personally. But yeah, I put that as my number 10.
I think something that I've always stuck by is Tobey Maguire sucks at Peter Parker, but is a good
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is a good Peter Parker, but a bad Spider-Man, and I just always felt like Tom Holland is
Tom
really
Holland
good
was
at
that perfect
both.
middle.
Yeah, he's like really good at both. And so if you're wondering who my favorite Spider-Man is, it's Tom Holland. But
Tom Holland is the best one.
number 9, I have the third Spider-Man by Tobey Maguire. Once again, it's too packed with so many Sandman, Green
It was
Green Goblin, but
Green Goblin.
Harry, Venom, and then his whole awkward dance moves, and it's just too much. Like it was too much all in one movie, and I was just sometimes I watch that movie and I still get lost. I love Sandman. He's a great antagonist because he doesn't want to be an antagonist. He's just scared and doesn't know what to do, and he just has these powers now. And yeah, and then I don't like how they made. I mean, obviously in the comics they make Kid Goblin, whatever his name is, his best friend, obviously in the comics. But I'm really hoping they don't do that with Ned, because please. And then, like I said, I don't like Eddie Brock in that movie. And then I hate Tobey Maguire in that movie because he's just so awkward. And I don't feel like he knows how to play a bad guy. So I've never really been emotionally attached to that movie, but I do think it's better than all the other ones I've said so far, just because of plot wise and acting wise.
No, I feel like it's fair, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh wait, number 9. Yeah, actually I swapped these. No, number 10 was when I said.
Oh yeah, 9.
Number 9. I accidentally swapped that on my list, so I'm just gonna remember that. I put Venom. I mean, Venom was pretty good. Like Ben said, the villain is kind of forgettable, but like even with that, I just feel like the acting was really good, the love interest was really good, like his obvious struggle of I don't want to do this, but I kind of got nothing much going on. Yeah, I just feel like it's. Did you look up the?
Yeah, his name was Carlton Drake, but like the symbiote's name is Ryan. Like I couldn't. There's no way I could ever remember that.
Yeah.
Like it's forgettable, but.
But I mean, overall, it was pretty good. I feel like it's a number 9 pick for me.
Yeah.
But number 8.
Number 8, I had Homecoming, and here's the reason. Like I said, I love Tom Holland. He's my favorite. Not having the love interest be Mary Jane or MJ, I didn't like that at all because like it's always been MJ. I like how they switched it up, but like I don't like the way they switched it
what's
up.
her new name?
Well, her name is MJ. Well, Zendaya is MJ, but his love interest was the other girl.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember her name, but the other girl that he goes to Homecoming with. But I love Michael Keaton as the Vulture. He was amazing. I hate the cliffhanger with Scorpion because I love the actor that they had that's supposed to play Scorpion because he's in Better Call Saul, which I love that show. But I don't like the cliffhanger because it's been 3 movies and we still haven't seen anything with that. So, but I love Michael Keaton as the Vulture. So that's mine for me.
My number 8 is Spider-Man 2, the one with Osborn.
Osborn?
Yeah.
You mean Octopus? Dr. Octavius?
Oh, yeah.
Osborn is
Whatever.
Green Goblin.
Yeah. That guy.
This is why his opinion is invalid. He doesn't even know the villain's names.
Anyways, it was pretty good. Actually thought it was really good. Just,
Wait, you have the Spider-Man 3 above Spider-Man 2?
yes. The second movie, it just kind of felt a little bit too simple in the end. It was. Compared to everything else, it's just a bit too simple. The ending, it was a good fight, a little bit anticlimactic. But that's all. Really. That's all, folks.
I don't think this guy's seen Spider-Man 2.
I have.
At number 7, I have the first Spider-Man. Same reasoning as him. It's just nostalgic, and it's the first Spider-Man. And if it wasn't for him, there probably wouldn't be any of these other Spider-Mans. I really liked it. There's not much to say about it because everyone remembers it. It's just like I said, William Dafoe really carried that movie. But yeah, there's not really much to say about Spider-Man 1. But I just put it at number 7 for nostalgia purposes because I love William Dafoe. So.
My number 7 is Amazing Spider-Man 2. Beautiful animation. Only thing I really don't like is dubstep, electro. It was a little weird. It sounded cool in theaters, but now watching it, it's just like, okay. But like, showing, Peter Parker have PTSD was really cool because it shows that, yes, he is like still just a kid. In which like, some movies still, or like some like superhero movies, they'll like try to be like, oh, he carries the burdens of his past. But like this one, it really like, every single time he saw like a police officer, he would see, not MJ's, what was his love interest?
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Captain Stacy.
He would see, Captain Stacy, and then also him failing to save Gwen. It's so Spider-Man. I enjoyed it. Anyways,
moving on. Number 6, I have the first Amazing Spider-Man. I think once again, I just put it this high up because of nostalgia purposes. I remember watching this in theaters. I also really like the Lizard. I think he's a cool bad guy. I think they could have done him better. Yeah. I think they could have introduced him better. Yeah. But I love the love interest with Gwen Stacy because, the first one did it with MJ. And so it's like, oh, I'll switch up, but it wasn't too much of a switch up where it's like, oh, I have this whole love interest, but it's not even the one that I end up with. Like how Homecoming did. Yeah, and I love Captain Stacy, even though he dies, and I just love how Andrew Garfield is at being Spider-Man. Like I said, he makes a lot of jokes mid-fight. He's just funny and he's comical, and that's what you want in a Spider-Man. And so it's like, yeah. But then again, I didn't really like Miss Peter Parker, like I said. That's basically it.
Yeah. My number 6 is Spider-Man 3. Ben, since he can't focus on one villain, I'll tell you all about it. Great connection of how Spider-Man has this thing where he doesn't want to kill his villains. He pulled that very well off in Spider-Man 3. Yes, he does have that cringy scene of like the
he does kill the villain.
Well, he tries not to.
Because he kills Harry by stabbing
Well,
with the glider.
In the first one?
No, in the third one.
He does on the first one as well.
Well, you say Spider-Man doesn't want to kill his villains, and then
So he tries not to.
And then in every regular Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, he kills all of them. They all die.
Him having that whole thing with like his. Oh wait, no, that was the second movie. His connection with like Venom. I thought that was really cool. Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying. And also, I think him having multiple villains to fight is really good. Like, also, it's just really Spider-Man because the Sinister Six, and I want a movie to actually be able to fight all 6, but that's probably never gonna happen. But yeah, I really like that one. I thought all the bosses were really cool, even if the Goblin was revised. But Venom himself is always a cool character. You can't really mess him up. But yeah.
You can actually. Anyways. Number 5. I have Far From Home because lot of people hate on that movie. I feel like this movie is very, very underrated. I like Far From Home, personally, because it's just like Mysterio. Like, when this movie came out, I feel like not a lot of people knew about Mysterio, and I feel like he was very underrated, even if he was, you know, not how he was in the comics, and it was all just an illusion and blah blah. Which, by the way, the drones, amazing. Like, I loved the whole plot. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah, it's very modern.
And I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a great actor. He did a very good Mysterio. He was like, he showed that he knows how to act while acting. Because you know how like Mysterio was acting, and he was acting all nice to Peter, and he all just to get the glasses, and then he used the glasses to use the drones and the illusion. I also love the humor in this movie with Flash and Happy and Aunt May, and then just obviously between Zendaya and Tom Holland, the chemistry, it's just always there.
The Spider Monkey.
They're dating in real life. Night Monkey, like that was a good one. Yeah, although it was a little stupid because they were like, oh, the fire element's the strongest, and then they killed it in like 2 seconds. I was expecting a little bit of a better fight, because I mean, the fight with the water element was better than the fight with the fire element. Like, the water element scene was really cool. I don't know, that's just me. And like, I just like that movie. I think the scene when he had the glasses and like they're on the trip, and I don't know, there's a lot of good things about this movie. I could go on about it. There's also a lot of bad things, but honestly, there's not a lot of bad things. I don't like Nick Fury's character in this, which it turns out not to be Nick Fury. It turns out to be one of those alien guys, but whatever.
We're on number 5. My number 5 was Homecoming. It's probably high up, but I mean, honestly, they were really good about Spider-Man being alone. And I feel like I'll talk about that more when it comes to this entire trilogy, but they really cracked down on Spider-Man is by himself. And I love that so much. How in Homecoming, he's crushed underneath the building, and like he realizes there's no one, he's by himself, there's no one else there. You know, he just got, you know, absolutely like beat up, and he's just forced to pick up this building, continue fighting, in which he does. And only thing I really don't like about this movie is how we're never going to see Vulture again.
Well, that's not true. It could happen. The end credit scene.
Anyways, they're not going to bring him back unless they do like a Sinister Six thing.
Number 4, I had Into the Spider-Verse. So we have the animated movies are finally here. I mean, we knew they were going to be at the top of the list because these movies are great.
They're so good.
They're really good. Like, these top 4 were really hard for me to pick between, but I had to put this one right here.
Number 1 was pretty easy.
For the top 3, like, are my top 3. Like, there was no changing that. So I just had to put this one at number 4. But I love this movie. I mean, I love Miles Morales as a character. I love who they have to voice him. I love Gwen Stacy. I've always preferred Gwen Stacy over MJ. Like, I just think that she's better. I just think this movie was great. I love the animation style, and I love the voice actors, and I love Kingpin. I've always loved Kingpin as a villain. His backstory is super sad. If you actually read the comics, there's more to his backstory than what they show in the movie, which is terrible. Like, if you see his backstory as a child, God, he had a terrible childhood. But I love the Prowler. Like I said about Mysterio, the Prowler doesn't get that much fame. He does now because he was in a really popular movie. But before that, nobody knew about the Prowler. I did. I love the Prowler. Obviously, I saw the twist coming. I knew it was his uncle. I mean, and I love the soundtrack. It has Juice WRLD in it, and it has X, and it has that's the one too I really care about. Oh yeah, Sunflower. That's a good one. Scared of the Dark. High. Everything about this movie is just perfect. 10 out of 10. I don't think I would change anything about this movie. And then watching Across the Spider-Verse and then going back to that one, it's like you notice all these little clues that they were giving you before the movie. 4 years before the movie was even out.
Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy. But anyways.
My number 4 is No Way Home. I know.
Wow, that's crazy.
So me, personally, I feel like this movie is really good.
It is. It's great.
It's really really good. But it's just, there's some moments, like, I get, like, the whole, like, oh, like, let's track all the villains, and, like, you know, let's do this and that to introduce them. It's just, for me, what kind of ruined it is that they couldn't get all of the original actors back. And, like, moments with Sandman were just kind of ruined because they had to, like, CGI him for the third movie. Moments with the Lizard were ruined because they had to CGI him from the first movie. Moments with, like, their actual, like, villains, I would have enjoyed it a bit more.
I feel like the only one that really did was Tobey Maguire, because I mean he had both of his original actors right there. Right?
No.
Because Tobey Maguire had a few moments with his own, like, when he talked to Doc Ock, I'm trying to do better. You know, like, and then I'm something over scientist myself.
Yeah. I mean, Green Goblin as, like, the main villain, so good. I feel like Tom Holland needed that. And the ending, it's really good. Once again, like Spider-Man not having literally anyone. I just think it's really good. I feel like it would have been perfect if they were able to get all of the original actors back, but that's it. Besides that, literally perfect movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Number 3, I have Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Otto Octavius. This movie was a masterpiece. I don't know what this guy is talking about. I don't know what this guy is on. This movie is better than all the other Spider-Man movies, except for the top 2. Look, the thing about this movie is is his name Anthony something? The guy that plays Dr. Octavius is amazing. I love his acting.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved his acting. He's in other movies that I've seen. I can't recall which ones. But I like him, and I feel like his good acting brought out Tobey Maguire's good acting. Something about these two together just worked, especially when they were, like, working together, like at the beginning-ish of the movie, and then obviously he went evil. And then, I mean, Dr. Octavius gets a lot of recognition. I don't know, just something about this movie, it's a mix of nostalgia, good acting, not a bunch of villains jumbled up in one. They didn't try to fit too much into it. It was just, they fit everything in perfectly. They continued the love interest. They continued the Spider-Man kind of being alone, because, I mean, there was not really much of anime in this movie. And, I mean, anime is old ladies, like, how are you gonna have her in? But yeah. I mean, it's just like, this movie was just really good. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And it's just super nostalgic. And like I said, I love the acting in it. And so I think it deserves to be this high because of, I just like it. It's good. It's amazing. So.
That's fair. My number 3 is Into the Spider-Verse. This is the best movie hero, like, introduction. Like, it's gonna be very hard to do, like, an origin story for a hero that's better than this. I mean, you have him getting the powers, you have him struggling the powers, you have him struggling to, like, keep it from his family, you have him struggling to keep it from his friends, you have him, like, trying to figure things out while also saving his, I mean, I guess the entire multiverse at that point. But he didn't know that. He thought it was just his dimension and all this, like, all his friends that he just made.
Spider-Verse. Sorry, you said multiverse.
Spider-Verse. And, like, once again, Gwen, amazing, loved her. What was it? Peter B. Parker.
Mm-hmm. Peter Benjamin. That's me.
Like, he was a really good mentor, and then Miles Morales losing his Spider-Man right in front of him, you know, just kind of be like, oh crap, I don't know what to do. And of course, like Ben was saying, the soundtrack is amazing, it's beautiful, it fits so well with Miles Morales. But yeah, also just the style of the movies are super cool and interesting and fun, and having, like, you know, when someone gets hit in the background, how it says hit or wham or black
or
like
bagel.
Bagel. Sets up for the second movie. It's so good and it's so interesting, and you can't get that with the live action movies. But yeah, art style to Miles Morales as a character to the plot and everything, just amazing. Sorry, I'll stop there.
My number 2 is No Way Home. I mean, he kind of already explained everything, all the pros about this movie. I love. They meshed all of them together so perfectly. The only thing that I can complain about is how closely they introduced the old Spider-Man. It was in the same scene. Should have been 2 separate ones.
That's fair.
I personally think how they should have done it is Andrew Garfield should have met MJ first, and then Tobey Maguire should have met
No. Tom Holland?
Tom Holland. I think that would have been really cool. Like if Tom Holland was fighting like one of the villains, and all of a sudden another one of the Spider-Men came in, and then whoosh, and they fight them together and trap them together. That would have been so cool to see. So yeah, I think that they did it perfectly. He's already said all the pros, so I won't yap about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
My number 2 is Far From Home. Me personally, I really liked it more. His identity getting revealed at the end. And my favorite scene is, his whole like peer tingle thing.
That was a good scene.
And like he closes his eyes. It's him really being like the best Spider-Man in my opinion. Because like we don't ever get a scene like that where it's completely dark and he's just having to rely on his senses.
And also the illusion scene was really cool, where like Nick Fury picked them up and then they went in the car and then they were in that building. But then it was all just an illusion. It was so hard to tell what was real going there. Like obviously going back and watching it now, I'm like, oh well, yeah, I already know. But the first time watching that movie was insane. So I was like, oh, Nick Fury shot him, but it can't be that easy, right? Gets hit by a freaking train and then, dude, it was crazy. I love that scene.
But I really enjoyed that movie so much.
It's crazy that it's that high, like above across But I guess, I've always said that movie's underrated. It's in my top 5, so I won't know.
But I thought it was really good. It's like the definition of a bad guy wanting revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they couldn't take it out on Iron Man. So they're like, hey, this kid is basically,
the new Iron Man.
The new Iron Man. So we're just gonna mess with
And
it.
they failed.
Barely. But I just thought that movie was amazing.
It was.
I watched that in theaters, I think, like 4 times. So many times. I spent so much money on that.
It was really good. And that means our number 1's
Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, there's not really much beating it. It's so good. Like, there's nothing really to complain about in that movie. Like, I don't think there's... Obviously, I don't think the soundtrack, it was good, but I don't think it was as good as the first one. But it was still really good. Metro Boomin did a really good job.
But it was the attention to detail with each character, whether it's the animation that they were moving at, whether like their style would change, like how each Spider-Man was a like custom hand-drawn Spider-Man,
and how they all have their unique aspects of them.
Just like, come on. And then we get to the plot with the Dot.
Yeah, about the Spot. He's so cool. I'm so excited for the next one, dude. It's gonna be really good. I hope they kill his dad. That sounds terrible, but he needs to learn less.
Well, because I'm pretty sure he dies in comics.
Well, because it's like his canon event, how the chief of police dies. But, yeah. But there's, we can't, there's no even reason to explain how good it is, because everyone just knows it's the best. I feel like most people can agree.
Yeah.
That's the best Spider-Man movie. But that sums it up for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our second podcast type style video. If you'd like to see more of these in the future, make sure you hit that like button and let us know in the comments
In the
comments down below.
Bam!
What you want to see of next. Like, we could do anything. Yeah. We could do like princess movies. We've seen the princess movies. Come at us.
I've seen all of them.
I've seen all of them. We could do, anything. Anything you guys want to see.
Ooh,
Let us know. DreamWorks. How to Train Your Dragon would win. I'm spoiling it right now. Let us know down in the comments below what you want to see, because we'll do pretty much anything when it comes to stuff like this, because we enjoy it. We have our opinions. We like arguing. We do it all the time. So It's just like, it's fun. We could do video games, we could do movies, we could do foods, whatever you want to see. It will be in the next season, which will be in approximately about two-ish months, month and a half, months. Which will come with a brand new intro. It'll come with new episodes,
new
obviously.
People.
Yeah, we're gonna have new guest stars. And also, little fun fact about the finale, we're gonna be bringing back some people. And we might be introducing a couple new people, so
we'll see.
You're gonna have to let us know who you want to who do you want to see in the upcoming episodes.
Yeah, tell us who your favorite co-host is. Not co-host. I'm the only co-host.
Like us two, we don't count. But who's your favorite guest star so far? Because who we had? We've had Brant,
Cheesecake,
Jacob, and Jacob. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us
out of those three, which one you want to see come back in season 2. They probably all will, but just let us know, who's your favorite, and we'll get more of them.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's gonna be all for today. We will see you guys
in the next one. Bye.